The second part of this lab is once you've rectified this image, once you've aligned it with the ground, you are going to trace a building, this one right here. And in order to do that, first you need to save your edits, and here I'm not going to be particularly choosy about it, but you want to save it. The document suggests a name, which is the original name, _RECT, and when you export it by default, it will be exported as a TIFF, which is a common bitmap image format. Now once this is saved, I'm once I save these changes, I'll be working with the rectified version of this image. I'll turn this other one off, and this image, now that the new image I've created, is much better aligned than the original one was with the objects on the ground. Now the second part of this lab is showing you that in addition to just taking a picture and saying, where is this thing really, we can also edit shapefiles or create new ones and create new features in those shapefiles. So in the lab we show you this example of the structure, can't remember the name, and it's not actually on the map, and so what you're going to do is trace the shapefile, trace the object on the ground and add it to your building shapefile. You can see I've already done that. So I'm just going to show you how this process works, and the main thing is getting started. How do you start with this process? And so let's imagine that this tennis court here is a building and we just kind of missed it. And so what I want to do, or let's trace this building over here. It's also not among our shapefiles. So to edit a shapefile, I'm going to go to Buildings, and then once I have that selected, I'll just click on the Edit tab. And when I do that, you can see I get lots of options. Among them is Create. Now what this allows me to do is create a building, to tell it I want to create a new building, and I can choose my tool, but I'm just going to create this freehand polygon tool and begin to trace around that object. So I do this by clicking. It helps to zoom in. And so when you're creating your own shapefile, oh whoops, I'm just dragging the map a little bit. When you're creating this, you want to click along the perimeter of this very patiently, and you might want to zoom in and zoom out. I've got a table in my way, and just insert at every corner a vertex and trace the object as it appears. And then when you're done, and I'm just going to pretend that I am, double click. And when you double click, you'll see in this building shapefile, I've created a new object. So if I look at the list of buildings, I'll see my new building within that, the two objects that I've created. They have no attributes because I've added them myself, but I could edit those as well. But this is how I edit features in a shapefile. Really straightforward process. When I'm done, I'll just save my changes, or theoretically I would. Actually, I don't even think I need to save my changes anymore in Arc Pro. So when you're done, there it is. There's your object. If you don't like it, you can go to the table and delete it. Just get rid of that feature, and I'll do the same thing with the feature that I made before, the one that you're actually tracing. As I said, fairly straightforward process. If you have any questions about how to insert new objects, create new features in your shapefile, reach out. Otherwise, that's how you do the steps to complete 2D.